Here's more strange behavior from the Blue Sky 2512 IXHV charge controller with the IPN-ProRemote. System seems to be locked into displaying 13.5 amps of charge. There's no loads on the system, it's just a background load of about a ½ amp. I have 320 watts of solar power. The batteries are towards the end of a normal charge cycle. They're about 98% right now. There are no other charging sources on the system. The vehicle's not running and we are not plugged into shore power, so the only way power is going into the batteries is through the solar charge controller, which currently is producing 4.5 amps, of which about a ½ amp is system background loads. So we should have about 4 amps actually going into the battery, and yet it's showing 13.5 amps. I can put a load on the system, so here I'm turning on an incandescent light. The system reacts to that by providing about another 1.5 amps, almost 2 more amps. Turn that light back off, and goes back to where it had been, and yet the system is still showing 13.5 amps going into the battery, regardless of anything else that's going on. I've put additional load on the system to where the solar controller cannot actually keep up with the load from the lights and the refrigerator and the furnace that I turned on. Where the system voltage dropped down, clearly there was less amps actually going into the battery, and it still showed 13.5 amps going through the shunt. So somehow something is very strange with the metering system here.